storms you thought might sweep you away were hallowed ground, where you learned that I am your anchor and nothing can tear you from my embrace. As you read these words, let the gravity of my promise settle into your bones. Your story is not finished and you have not missed your moment. Breathing now, sense the stillness wrapping around your heart. That peace is tangible because I am here, drawing near in deeper intimacy than you have ever known. Yes, beloved child, I say again, you are mine. You belong to me, not as property, but as precious treasure, dearly cherished, set apart. The labels tied around your worth by others, the names spoken over your weakness, are being rewritten by my hand. I call you beloved, chosen, radiant, redeemed. Nothing broken disqualifies you. In fact, it is from the cracks that my glory shines brightest. I want you to feel the weight of my presence as reality, not theory. Right now, breathe me in. Let my voice override the accusations still haunting your mind. Every season that seemed wasted is being reclaimed. This is the rebirth. You are stepping out of the shadows into a sunrise tailored by my own imagination for you alone. Pause. Just for a moment. Bring your attention to the beating rhythm within your chest. Place your hand there if you need reminding that life and promise still pulse through you. Every heartbeat testifies to how fiercely I have protected you. Even when you had no idea what the enemy broadcast as abandonment was me working in disguise, arranging a deeper healing than quick solutions could have granted. I'm the one who turns mourning into dancing. I have seen you question whether joy could ever be yours again. But I say as your God, it is not only possible, it is inevitable. You will laugh again, and your laughter will prophesy to others that resurrection isn't a fairy tale, but a signature of my power. Today is not the conclusion, but a new threshold. You may sense resistance inside. Part of you doubts that transformation is truly yours. That is not failure. That is the residue of old lies meeting fresh truth. Let them collide bravely. Say aloud, even trembling, I receive your love. I am chosen. I'm not who I was. There is a powerful shift taking place inside you, one that might feel subtle at first, but will soon echo in every corner of your existence. You will recognize this shift as the days pass. A lightness where heaviness once lingered, courage rising where fear had its roots. This is how you will know it is me. People will comment on the glow they see in you. Doors once shut will unlock from within, and clarity will dawn in your thoughts, like morning after a long and troubled night. My precious one, the seeds of obedience sown in the shadows are about to bear fruit, not for applause, but for restoration, first within you and then through you. I have not asked you to be perfect, only willing. Every moment of surrender you have risked is noticed. Not one gesture of trust is wasted. The encounters you cherish are only glimpses of the deep communion I am inviting you into. When doubt attempts to rise with the old refrain, what if I fail again? Hear me instead, declaring that your failure is never final in my hands. I'm the God who rewrites endings, who breathes life into what was dismissed as dead. You are being commissioned even now to touch others with the healing you have painfully received. Your future is not a repetition of old patterns, but an unfolding of glory that will continue beyond what you can now imagine. I'm empowering you to walk in new authority, not because of your willpower, but because my spirit is alive within you. You are assigned to generations that I still redeem, that I still speak, that I still transform. Even now, prophetic moments are being prepared. Within 72 hours, words will be spoken around you. Words you did not expect, confirming what you have heard here. When they come, remember this. I'm present in every detail. You'll recognize my hand because peace will settle despite circumstances, and timing will feel eerily perfect. Let the evidence of my love dismantle every barrier. If fatigue tries to mute your hope, let gratitude anchor you. Close your eyes and whisper thanks, even for the battles. For in the fire your true self has emerged. The movement you are increasingly aware of. This awakening that draws thousands from numbness to nearness includes you. Your voice mingles with the chorus of the beloved, calling others out of hiding. This is why your story matters so much. This is why you could not afford to give up. The transformation written in you will ripple outward, bringing home the hearts that wandered far, proving again that no one is beyond my reach. If you pause now and become aware of the subtle warmth spreading through your spirit, know that it is my delight in you and it will never be withdrawn. Do not rush past that sensation. Linger here. These are sacred minutes and their permanence will astonish you. There will come a morning soon when you wake with a sense of clarity. Clarity that surprises the part of you accustomed to survival. You will find that the burdens you carried so long feel lighter. Not because the world changed, but because you discovered your truest dwelling within me. I mark you with my love, setting you like a beacon for others still wandering through the fog. Remember, you are held. You are covered. You are never ever alone. Let nothing steal this conviction. Whatever voices come to distract or discourage, hold fast to the truth of my nearness, my commitment, and the new thing I am doing. This is not simply good news. It is living proof that your next chapter will overflow with the beauty and purpose you were made for. Eyes have not seen what I'm about to unfold. I am not finished. This is where everything shifts. The metamorphosis is only just beginning. My beloved child, you are here drawn to this moment not by chance, but by my deliberate love calling out to you. Even now, as you settle into this space, something deep within you searches for reassurance. A gentle whisper that your life is seen, that your heart is understood. I know if you are still on the right path, or if you've drifted too far to find your way again. These words I speak are for you for this very hour. Pause a little longer. You sense you were meant to hear something today. Something meant to realign the questions that rise quietly in the background of your mornings and your restless nights. My presence hovers near, quiet but unyielding. Close your eyes for a breath and you may catch its warmth. A peace resting on your shoulders, settling over you like early dawn light. I see where your thoughts scatter as you begin each day, where the rush and the noise have dulled your sense of me. Even so, I am not distant. I cover you each waking moment, inviting you back softly into a quieter trust. When uncertainty presses in and your mind races with what-ifs, remember that I am the stillness at your center. My hands are not hurried. I do not lose sight of you. Do not judge the course of your life by yesterday's shadows or the imagined worries of tomorrow. Each day I am present, asking you to begin anew, to step forward, even if the next step feels unsure. My guiding voice comes gently, never in harshness, but in the soft conviction that you are not alone. Even as new responsibilities press on you, and you wonder if you can carry all that is required. I'm present in every ordinary moment. When you pour your morning cup, when you glance out the window, when your breath slows and the world quiets for a heartbeat, these are the openings where you glimpse me at work. Long you may look at your journey and see only stops and starts. Progress marked by detours and delays, but nothing is wasted in my hands. The parts of your story that frustrate you, the scenes you wish you could rewrite, I gather them all with patience, shaping them for your good. I do not measure your worth by flawless execution or impressive conquest. I search for a heart willing to return again and again when regret rises or self-doubt wears at your confidence. Remember this: I delight in your willingness to reach for me despite what you feel. Each small movement toward trust, each honest breath is noticed. Let your soul settle into this moment with me. Place your hand over your heart if you feel unmet. Breathe in the reality that you are not left to your own devices. I have not set you on your way, only to leave you adrift in the swirl of demands. I'm your shelter when the world feels sharp, the steady hand beneath your faltering steps where anxiety tries to rule your morning. Let my presence speak louder. I'm nearer than every breath. Your fears about the future are not ignored. I hold them with tenderness. Long, when you feel you must hold everything together, remember that my strength is given freely. I do not expect you to manufacture peace out of chaos. I invite you to lean into my sufficiency. The world will suggest you should be farther along by now, that your pace is too slow, your progress too fragile. But I am not in a hurry. My timing cultivates something deeper than instant results, a steadfastness unshaken by disappointment. Listen, my child. Your journey is not meant to look like anyone else's. I alone know the fullness of what I am growing in you. Long you may believe you need to prove your devotion, to present a life unmarked by doubts or detours. I see the layers you carry, responsibilities, hopes for those you love, questions about your purpose. My love is not fragile. It does not retreat because you stagger. Even when gratitude feels strained on your lips or rest feels impossible, I draw near. Simply be honest with me in the quiet. Let gratitude be as small as your next breath, for I welcome even imperfect offerings. Notice even now the subtle shift as you turn your attention toward me. The burdens lose a bit of their heaviness. There is room in my presence for all your mess and confusion. You do not have to hide your disappointment, your grief, or your impatience. I'm an anchor unshaken by your storms. As you allow yourself to be known, you will discover a new resilience I am forming in you. My care is more persistent than any failure or fear. Rest for a moment in this promise. I do not abandon what I have begun. When you wake unsure, when your energy falters or your mind replays past mistakes, I remain. My mercy is not measured by your performance, but by my own faithfulness. Think of the ways I have carried you through seasons you thought would overwhelm you. Even when you believed you would break, I held you together. My commitment does not waver when you question, will I make it? I gather up every question, every anxious thought, and I breathe hope over your story. You who are mine are seen entirely. Nothing about you is hidden or insignificant to me. Your daily routines, your laughter, your weariness, your hidden prayers matter. I take joy in your hope even if it flickers, and I remain patient as you grow. There are new mercies set aside for you with every sunrise. Trust that as you open your heart to me, however cautiously, you make room for me to transform your fear into courage, your striving into rest, and your longing into fulfillment, shaped by my wisdom. Begin again now, not by resolving all things at once, but by letting my presence be enough for today. I will teach you moment by moment how to walk with assurance instead of hurry, with gratitude instead of resentment, with hope instead of dread. Stay close as the day unfolds. There are blessings hidden in the ordinary that I've prepared just for you. Yield your anxieties to me. However many times it takes, this is not failure. It is the substance of real relationship. I'm here and I am enough now and always. Long pause a moment and feel the gentle press of my presence, as certain and steady as the light that finds you, even when clouds fill the sky. I know there are mornings when the weight of unknowns hangs over you and the echoes of yesterday's worries slip into today. But you are not meant to carry them alone. Each day is a new promise from me. A reminder that what burdens you is already known to me, cared for before you even awaken. Let your heart settle in this nearness, like warm sunlight brushing against closed eyelids, reassuring you that my eyes have not left you for a single breath. There are times you wonder if the path ahead is clear enough, if your choices will add up to something lasting or meaningful. You wrestle with questions deep inside, uncertain whether your voice matters in this noisy world. Here in the quiet rhythm of your inhale and exhale, I lean close and call you by name. The value I place on you doesn't shift with your doubts or your plans. Before the world stirs awake, I see you knew every longing you would ever feel, each step you would ever dare to take, and every tear you would ever shed. You belong to me still and always. Let go, little one, of that striving that knots your shoulders and keeps you awake beneath the covers at night. You reach for perfection, thinking it's the proof you need to be accepted. Yet my acceptance flows without condition. My love does not measure success the way the world teaches. The simple courage it takes to rise again this morning is precious to me. I see the small kindnesses, the whispered prayers, the hand you extend, the quiet way you hope for others. These are seeds sown in the quiet earth of my heart. You will not be forgotten, nor your efforts lost in the blur of passing days. Even now, the soil of your life softens beneath my steady rain. Long as you steady yourself for what lies ahead, recall the gentle assurance I placed within you. You are not walking on these unfamiliar roads by your own wit or strength. I'm the hand at your back, the spring refilling every dry place. When frustration builds, When your patience feels thin and brittle from waiting, turn your attention back to me. Just as the river flows faithful to the sea, my guidance moves you, shapes you slowly from within. Every detour, every pause is seen and will become part of your journey's beauty. You are not forgotten in the crowd, not lost in the shuffle of busy hearts. When you glance in the mirror and your thoughts criticize what you see or recall mistakes you wish were erased, let me speak instead. My joy is not reserved only for those who perform without fault. It blooms in you even with your flaws, radiating from the core of my deep desire to see you whole. Bring all that feels cracked or unworthy into my light. Watch how shame cannot remain where my warmth settles. Your identity is anchored in my affection, not in missed marks or lingering regrets. Each new sunrise confirms it. You are wanted, cherished, held. Ask yourself, have you forgotten to pause and taste my goodness in the small things? Has your mind become crowded by what you fear you lack or what seems missing in your story? Let me slow your racing thoughts right now. Notice the air filling your chest. The places grief has softened your compassion. The laughter you've shared despite heaviness. Even in the smallest moments you gather scraps of hope, fragile joy. I'm at work restoring and strengthening you. My presence is closer than the pulse that thrums beneath your skin. Long. If you find it hard to trust that I am ahead of you, arranging what you cannot yet perceive, know that your uncertainty is not an obstacle to me. With every anxious heartbeat, you can release the need to control what tomorrow shapes from today. Lift your weary heart like a child, reaching for a familiar hand, unsure of the path, but trusting the one who guides. Your future is not a puzzle meant to torment you, but an invitation to walk with me a little more freely, little more open to surprise. My timing is gentle, perfect in ways you may only understand by looking back later. When the world is noisy and your soul in silent moments between thoughts in comfort that soothes without asking for anything in return. Close your eyes. Let yourself rest within the safety I offer just for a breath. Take this sacred pause as a gift. Let gratitude unfurl, even if only for the chance to begin anew. Each time you acknowledge my touch in the ordinary, you water the garden of trust growing in your spirit. This too is worship. There may be voices around you, loud with skepticism or quick to judge, that try to tell you who you are or what you're capable of. Their words may sting or stir questions you long thought buried, but their opinion does not rewrite your worth. Let the assurance of my delight be the truer voice. I'm the one who shaped your story from the very first whisper. I've seen every hidden chapter. Even the parts you wish you could erase are held in mercy, rewritten by my kindness, and made new with every surrender. My beloved, you have not outpaced my grace. Choose even today to unclench your fists and welcome the peace I offer. There is a strength I give, not always loud or obvious, but present in the steady courage to try again, to hope for something sacred in what feels ordinary. Trust that you will be guided not because of flawless plans, but because my presence lingers beside you through every uncertainty, every stumble, and every small victory. Each moment you acknowledge my nearness, the barriers you thought were removable begin to loosen. Let this be the hour you remember you are seen, not just as you hope to be, but as you are right now. My love is not waiting for a more polished version of you. I call you mine before you do anything to earn it. Rest in the safety of these words. You are not walking alone, and nothing ahead is bigger than the hand that holds you. As you breathe out the fear that tries to steal your hope, allow space for the quiet assurance that I am already at work. The journey is unfolding, and with each step my delight in you only deepens. Now, as gentle morning light seeps through your surroundings, I remind you that I am near, attentive to even the smallest sigh that escapes your lips. There is no movement of your heart hidden from me. The worries that press at your chest, the questions that scatter through your thoughts in the hush of dawning hours, are not burdens you carry alone. Feel how this new day shimmers quietly around you. Listen for the softness in my presence, subtle yet real, wrapping around your vulnerable places. My desire is that you would discover my presence not as a distant echo, but as a warmth quietly unfolding you, inviting you to draw near. With each breath you take, picture my own breath is the source that fills your chest and sustains your spirit. Each small act of gratitude is precious in my sight. A whispered thank you for peace after a restless night. A silent hope as you step out into the uncertainties of today. You may wonder if your gratitude matters when storms linger or answers seem far away. Beloved, every sincere word is received. Every gratitude shapes your heart and widens your capacity to see my hand at work. Even when you stumble over doubts or wake still wearied by yesterday's troubles, my compassion greets you with quiet fidelity. You ask me, what if I am not enough? What if what I bring is too small for the challenges I face? My response is steady and sure. I made you knowing every contour of your heart, every yearning and every frailty. Nothing in your day will surprise me or drive me away. Instead, I offer my gentle strength, ready to fill and steady you where you fear you cannot stand. If your hands feel empty, come to me anyway. If your voice feels faint, speak the truth you have, and I will honor it. You do not walk this path alone. I walk just beside you, your shelter and quiet champion. I ask you to notice how the world outside glimmers with possibility, even when clouds obscure the blue above. These are not random gifts, but signs that I remain faithful, cultivating hope from the soil of what seems dormant in your life. Even as uncertainty tries to whisper of disappointment with every delay, every closed door. Do not allow despair to take root. Each pause holds a quiet purpose. And in my fight, timing growth emerges in places you cannot yet see. I know the shape of your becoming. It is precious to me, carefully tended every moment. Sometimes you feel burdened by the weight of what is not yet healed. Relationships that remain strained. The ache for change that seems too slow. The longing for rest when fatigue runs deep. In these places, let your soul find shelter in my embrace. When you surrender the ache and the striving, you make space for me to tend what is beyond your reach. When you dare to trust me with the unfinished and raw, you receive my peace, not as the world gives, but as a stillness that anchors you in the midst of whatever chaos or waiting you face. Let your heart settle in this quiet. Notice the way my love gently soothes your restless places. I am not asking for perfection from you, but invitation. Invite me into your worries, your hopes, your ordinary routines and unseen efforts. Let me be the one who lifts your gaze, even when your eyes grow weary from searching for signs. I cherish your smallest expressions of trust. Each moment you open your soul, whether in joy or trembling discomfort, becomes a place where I draw close, filling your life with my quiet assurance. There will be days when surrender feels costly, when releasing your own solution seems like giving up control, but surrender to me is not loss. It is the act of a heart awakening to partnership with one who never fails. Think of how the early sunlight slowly warms the chill, how the dew fades as heat arrives. So too do your uncertainties dissolve beneath my faithful guidance. Cast your cares into my hands and watch how I reshape anxieties into hope. When you feel fragile, remember that my strength is steadier than any fear, and my hands are large enough to carry what you cannot. You live in a world that demands proof and visible progress, but my ways unfold softly, sometimes unnoticed in their first beginnings. Do not confuse slow growth with absence or silence with indifference. I am the God who sees every quiet act, the unseen kindness, the repeated effort to forgive or persevere. Nothing escapes my notice. Every seed of faith that you plant, even if it feels buried beneath discouragement, will in due time yield fruit. In moments where your trust wavers, let the memory of my faithfulness steady your resolve. As this day expands before you, invite me to shape your words, your choices, and your responses to what comes. I'm not only in moments of triumph, but also in the pauses, the setbacks, the small, faithful steps that seem insignificant. Receive my invitation to slow your striving. Rest in my presence just for a breath, with a gentle hand resting on your heart, remembering that you are known fully and loved deeply right where you are. The journey continues with no step wasted. I cherish every attempt you make to return to me, and my joy over you does not wait for your perfection. My delight is found in your willingness to draw close and try again, regardless of the past. In this very moment hear my promise, unseen but unwavering, that I am the steady companion beside you, urging you onward into everything I have prepared. I see how you hold your breath, uncertain if the next moment will bring relief or another ache. There's a silent battle raging within you, a tug between hope and the heavy memories that seem impossible to lay down. Precious one, allow yourself to breathe deeply now. Sense the air filling your lungs, my life flowing into every space that once felt empty. I'm inviting you deeper, beyond the surface acceptance of my love, into the place where you surrender, not just your questions, but your fiercest defenses. You have built walls to protect yourself from disappointment, and I have gently waited outside, knocking, never forcing, only asking, will you let me in, even to the rooms cluttered with grief and unanswered prayers? There is a longing in you to be fully seen, yet wholly safe. I have known every hidden wound. Each time you have smiled through pain, so others would not worry. My gaze does not flinch from your hurt. I linger with you in the night when you wonder if healing is meant for someone else. Little one, you do not need to hide the tears that you think make you weak. My strength is not reserved for the flawless. It crowns those who collapse into me, exhausted by trying to hold everything together. In this moment, as your hand rests over your heart, feel my presence steadying your pulse, matching every beat with words of assurance. You are not disqualified by your journey. In fact, each scar marks you as precious to me. You question if surrender is just another way to lose, another invitation to disappointment. I know that fear intimately. I hear when you whisper, what if I let go and nothing changes? But I tell you, surrender is not forfeit. It is the beginning of true strength. When you open what you have fiercely protected, even the places marred by shame, I do not recoil. I move with tenderness, transforming what once weighed you down into the soil where new life springs. Brokenness is not the end, beloved. It is the fertile ground of miracles. What the enemy used to scatter you, I am gathering to build something holy. There are times you replay your failures, wondering if you've missed your window or wandered too far. Listen to me now. I do not consult your mistakes when I speak about your destiny. Do you feel the warmth rising in your chest that is me igniting embers of hope where resignation tried to settle? Every setback, every ending has only prepared you for a greater unveiling. My timing is never late. Each delayed answer is not punishment. That my not yet was covering you from harm you never saw coming. You are not who you were yesterday. Hear me. There is a shift happening within you even as you listen. I am uprooting lies. The old refrain that you must earn my affection, the accusation that you're a burden, the suffocating sense that you have to perform your way into love. None of those are from me. My love for you did not begin at your first success, and it will not end at your latest failure. Little by little, I am rewriting the narrative etched by disappointment. My words are power. Let them settle deeper than any wound as I declare, you are chosen, you are mine, you are enough. Right now, pause and let yourself feel the weight leaving your shoulders. Breathe again, slower this time. Place your hand on your chest and say aloud, I am loved, I'm safe, I am known. As you do, listen for my quiet whisper, the assurance that you don't have to prove anything. I see the bruises you carry in secret, those silent battles where you felt unseen. Each one I am tending with the balm of my presence. Pain has no permission to define you. I am authoring resurrection in places death tried to reign. You may think you stand alone in your struggle, but you are joining countless others who have come to this threshold, risking vulnerability, daring to hope again. There is a kindred current in my people, those who have learned that transformation comes not through striving, but in rest. What you are feeling now, the gentle sense of being wrapped, comforted, embraced, that is the evidence of my spirit drawing near. Let tears come if they rise. They are not weakness, but marks of your awakening trust. I am never embarrassed by your emotion. It is in your unguarded honesty that I move most powerfully. I know some part of you doubts this can be sustained. That euphoria is followed by disappointment. But hear me, this encounter is not a fleeting moment. It is the opening of a new chapter. In the days ahead, you will find yourself moved by simple acts, a word from a stranger that feels like it was meant just for you, or an unexplainable peace washing over you at a time when you would normally be anxious. You'll know it's me because it settles your mind and anchors your spirit, even when nothing external has changed yet. Be gentle with yourself as you transition from fear to freedom. Let my patience become your own, trusting that growth is not an instant leap, but a series of small, courageous yeses. There will be moments when you slip back into old patterns, but the difference now is that you carry my presence within you, empowering you to rise each time. Remember, you are not being tested. I am proving to you how deeply you can trust me. Even your setbacks are opportunities for encounter. If anxiety surges, if old doubts press at the edge of your mind, pause and sense the stillness around you. You are not abandoned. My nearness does not waver with your moods or mistakes. Every time you reach out, whether with bold faith or trembling hope, I respond with steadfast love. Each breath you take in awareness of me is a prayer. Each exhale, a letting go of what you were never meant to carry. Peace is not the absence of struggle, but the awareness of my presence amid the struggle. Somewhere inside, you yearn for permission to dream again. I give it freely. Your desires are not too much for me. The visions you have buried under pragmatism and disappointment, I remember them all. I'm calling you back to your dreams, but with a new foundation, not as wishful fantasies, but as promises grounded in my nearness. Your story is not over. In fact, it is beginning afresh in this sacred unveiling. Rest in that for a moment. Let it settle into your bones. You are held. You are becoming. The journey ahead will not be without challenge, but nothing can separate you from the power of my love working within you. The breakthrough you crave is not a distant possibility, but a present reality, unfolding as you lean in. Trust that even your smallest surrender sets transformation in motion. There is more to come, beloved, much more than you have dared to hope for. There is something rising within you now, a flame that cannot be quenched. My beloved, there is something stirring inside you that you have tried to quiet, hoping it would ebb away with time. Yet here you are, your heart beating louder in moments of silence, the ache refusing to fade beneath distractions or busyness. I have drawn you to this precise threshold, not so you might regress, but so you would step deeper into the new reality I have been forming within you. From the first moment you dared to hope again, the discomfort you carry is not a sign of abandonment. It is the sound of old patterns crumbling, making space for the inheritance I am about to release. Even now, if you rest your hand over your chest, you can sense the life I am awakening in you. With every slow, intentional breath, know this: you are not simply being fixed, you are being made new. Piece by deliberate piece, I see the thoughts trying to pull you back. Memories weighted with shame, looping accusations that replay whenever courage rises up. You've asked me, how do I move forward when parts of me are still tethered to the past? My answer is found not in striving harder, but in surrendering deeper. Let go. Let your grip fail and fall into my open hands. I am not asking you to be strong enough. You have exhausted every well of your own strength. Instead, I am offering you holy rest, the kind reserved for those who finally believe my approval is not based on endless, desperate effort. Take a moment, close your eyes if you can, and let the sensation of being held override the voice of fear. I'm not leaving you in this in-between. Trust that each pulse of longing, each unspoken prayer draws me closer. Still, you wonder if true change is even possible, or if this is another fleeting moment that will dull with time. Listen carefully. My transformation does not depend on how intensely you feel me right now. It is rooted in my faithfulness, not your performance. What I have begun in you, nothing and no one can uproot. As you begin to recognize my presence in the ordinary, whether the quiet of dawn or the familiar laughter of a loved one, understand that every moment is charged with the potential of awakening. I am the source of this quiet clarity, this peace that gently surprises you when you least expect it. Soon you'll notice people remark that your eyes seem brighter, your words weightier with hope. This is no illusion. It is evidence that you are changing at a core level, the kind of change only I can bring. Pause and listen to your breathing. Anchor yourself in this moment right now. Anxiety wants to steal the beauty of present stillness by threatening you with what if and not enough. But I am not in tomorrow's fears or yesterday's regrets. I am right here with you in this sacred now. Place your hand back on your heart and say aloud, I am chosen. I am not who I was. Don't rush past these words. Let them challenge the old labels you have worn. Broken, rejected, invisible. Those names were never mine for you. My voice alone determines your identity. And I declare you beloved, made whole, marked by purpose. There is power in repetition. For every time you affirm who you are in me, you weaken the grip of old lies. I see you resisting, thinking it can't be this simple, that surely something so ancient and heavy cannot fall away with a whisper of truth. Yet even now a shift is happening as you participate in this practice. Power grows when you dare to agree with how I see you. This is not naive optimism. This is the birthright of my children, to receive truth that overrules every accusation from the pit of hell. When you falter, and you will remember, each stumble is another opportunity to lean on my grace, to refuse the shame that tries to return with a vengeance. You question whether I still speak, whether you could ever become fluent in recognizing my nearness rather than doubting my silence. I assure you, I have never ceased speaking, nor have I hidden myself from you. My communication is not always loud or dramatic, but it is constant and real. Test me in this. In the next few days, you'll overhear a phrase, see a written word, or notice a stranger's kindness that feels impossibly aligned with your private prayers. You'll know it's me because it will carry a sweet familiarity, a warmth in the very marrow of your being. Permission to hope again. Breathe, little one. You are not alone in this longing to discern my voice. Thousands of hearts, just like yours, have stood in this space, hungry for a sign, desperate for confirmation that they are not abandoned in their wandering. The difference is not your giftedness, but your willingness to stay and listen, to risk being known again. And as you do, you join a quiet movement. People who have learned to recognize peace as my signature, who discover that I am as near as the rise and fall of their own breath. My child, there is still a wound I'm touching, one you have tried to hide from even yourself. This is the ache you have labeled as weakness, the scar you cover up by overachieving or withdrawing. I am not repulsed by this part of you. I am drawn to it with even greater tenderness. You have asked me, perhaps without words, will this pain ever serve any purpose other than torment? Hear me, I do not waste a single sorrow. Where you see evidence of brokenness, I see the very places that will reveal my glory as healing unfolds in ways no intellect could fabricate. Lift your chin. Do you feel that gentle energy stirring under your sadness? I am coaxing you to hope where you dare not hope to believe for restoration, in the very area that felt most final, most lost. You say, I don't know how to try again. I say, I will teach you how to walk in newness. Step is not yours to muster alone. I infuse your spirit with bravery each time you say yes to my invitation. Let faith rise like the sun after a sleepless night. Quiet, certain, inevitable. Notice now the atmosphere around you, even if nothing physical has changed. Sense how your body relaxes, how relief presses against the edges of your anxiety. You are in a sanctuary of my making, shielded from accusation and accusation's haunting replay. Stay here, don't rush away. Something more is forming. Deeper still, I see you now sitting with a swirl of questions behind your eyes, wondering if the quiet I offer is enough. You hunger for something tangible, evidence that your trust is not in vain. You want signs that your obedience is noticed, that your efforts are not lost among the daily rush. I want you to hear me. Nothing you do with a heart tilted toward me ever fades away. I notice each silent surrender, each sacrifice that never draws applause. Every moment you choose kindness when no one's watching. My eyes miss nothing. My heart resonates with your honest attempts to walk upright even in confusion. Your longing to be seen and valued is not selfish. I place that yearning within you so you would return to me for fulfillment. When the world overlooks what matters most to you, I am the one who leans in closer, eager to lift the heavy corners of your soul. In the hush of early morning or the gentle darkness before sleep, my voice comes to rest in security and breathe stability into your spirit. I know how disappointment clings, how the past sometimes whispers that you are unworthy or unremarkable. But you are my beloved, set apart not for what you perform, but because you are mine. Let every accusation in your mind be captured by my truth. Pause for a moment. Let your breath settle. Imagine my presence like a quiet river flowing steadily through the center of your day, refreshing what has felt parched each time you lean back into this current quietly with or without words. I'm there not waiting on perfect prayers, only on your willingness to notice I am close. The journey I shape with you moves at a pace suited to your soul. There is no need to compare your progress to anyone else. I measure the growth of your roots, not merely the branches that others might see. When you feel left behind or overlooked, remember I move at the speed of love and restoration, not the world's hurry. If your heart aches for greater purpose or clarity, bring that ache to me just as you are. Don't dress it up or hide its raw edges. Lay it out honestly in my light and trust that I recognize the questions behind your questions. Sometimes what looks like waiting is in fact me preparing fresh joy and meaning for you. Even as you wonder if answers will ever come, I am not indifferent to your uncertainty. Rather, I'm drawing you into deeper trust, shaping your future while cultivating resilience in the soil of today. Let the very act of being present, truly present to me, to yourself, to those nearby, become a sacred seed that I am nurturing. There are times when stillness unsettles you, when you may even feel invisible. In those moments, resist the urge to judge your worth by external measures or immediate outcomes. Remember the landscape of a field hidden beneath fog. Growth is not always obvious, yet it is relentless, certain. What I nurture in the unseen places of your life will break forth at the right time with a beauty that cannot be hurried. I shield you in seasons of obscurity so the roots can deepen. The flourishing will come unique to the story we write together. Trust that hiddenness too is a gift, a sign of my attentive love. You are not defined by moments of confusion or weakness. When doubts arise about your calling, your adequacy, your future, I invite you to lay them down here. I'm not measuring you by flawless execution, but by your willingness to yield and trust, especially when certainty is far off. My promise is presence, not performance. When you falter, I am the hand that steadies. When you're afraid, I am the shelter waiting for your return. If you ever feel that my voice is distant, reach out in the simplest way, a whispered word, a deep sigh, or the lingering hope in your heart. I'm always ready to answer in ways tailored for you. Let this day become an altar where you encounter my faithfulness laid out, not in grand displays, but in the quiet assurance that you are understood and cherished. Picture me as a gentle light warming the cold shadows where fear and self-doubt hide. Even when you cannot see the full path, trust that every step you take in my direction is honored and multiplied. I shape even small acts, an encouraging word, a patient silence, a hidden prayer into seeds of transformation for you and for others. Do not allow impatience to rob you of the joy that steady presence brings. If regrets try to replay themselves like old stories, remember who holds your past, present, and future. Nothing is wasted. The times you thought were barren ground, I'm using to prepare you for a harvest beyond what you imagine. In my hands, every wound can hold the promise of healing. Every disappointment can point the way to compassion. Every delay can carve space for hope to expand. Whenever you feel tempted to rush ahead or withdraw in discouragement, come close and listen again for my grounding voice. I offer you a sanctuary where rest and restoration are not a luxury, but a blessing I freely give. Even as you move through today's routines and demands, carry with you this assurance. My love does not waver with your mood or your understanding. I remain a constant presence, a steady force shaping every detail with tenderness and patience. Let your heart return to gratitude, not as a duty but as a reflex to my goodness. Thankfulness turns ordinary moments into places where glory breaks through. As you pause to notice a quiet sunrise, the laughter of a child, or the comfort of shared silence, realize that these are reminders of my nearness. I'm with you in the sacred and the simple alike. As one day folds gently into the next, allow hope to be what you reach for, not as a distant wish, but as a friendly place beside you. My promises are not fragile, nor are they hidden from those who seek me with open hearts. Even now, as you listen, I'm preparing glimpses of renewal, offering you companionship for every valley and every mountaintop. Walk forward, little one, trusting that what feels unfinished in this moment is still being shaped by hands that neither tired nor forget. My favor moves before you, behind you and beside you, even when you cannot see it clearly. Within every uncertainty, I am inviting you to remember the promises I have sworn deep in your heart. You may sense the weight of waiting, as if the days are stretched longer than logic can accept. But in that lengthening, I'm not absent. I walk beside you, attentive to each sigh, each tightening in your chest, when doubts rise like sudden gusts. When you glance ahead and see only fog, recall how my presence remains steady, a hidden sun rising slowly behind clouds. Even when your trust is worn thin and you question how long you must endure, sit with me in this pause. I am nearer than your own breath, shaping what comes next out of what seems empty now. Let your soul inhale the quietness of this moment. The world might clamor for your focus, flashing urgent needs, making you believe your value is measured in restless striving. But I see how you have labored, how you pour yourself into each responsibility, even when no one else notices. Your longing for assurance is not ignored. Let my peace drop into your spirit like gentle rain. Rest your doubts in my hands, for I delight in carrying them, awakening you again to gentleness. There is nothing in you I despise, no anxious thought that puts distance between us. Bring even your hidden fears, for I tenderly bind up what feels too fragile to say out loud. Many times you pray for certainty, yet I respond with invitations instead. My wisdom is never in hurry. It is patient, waiting for the right time to unfold. Today, let yourself release the grip on outcomes that you cannot control. There's room here in my love for all your questions and unfinished stories. Trust does not mean never wondering. It means choosing to stay present with me, even as answers unfold slowly. Little one, let your heart rest in me as a sparrow settles into its nest, unhurried and belonging. I am your shelter, not because life is without storms, but because I remain even when the wind howls sharpest. In moments when discouragement gathers at the door, recall the times I lifted you before. In ways you barely understood, my faithfulness is not just a story from the past, but a living promise reaching into every dawn. I have not finished speaking to you, not exhausted my patience or kindness. Your dreams matter. Your fears do not surprise me. As you walk forward, let my presence shape your courage. If uncertainties seem to multiply, my assurance also grows, surrounding you with a quiet strength rooted in who I am. Each day is a fresh invitation for you to see yourself as I see you, cherished, protected, destined for purpose beyond what you see now. Let gratitude become the breath that softens your heart. Even as you wait or wrestle with frustration, notice the small gifts I scatter along your path. The laughter of a loved one, the hush before dawn, a sudden memory that brings comfort. These moments are reminders that you are not forgotten. When you allow your heart to whisper thanks, even for things not yet seen, you open space for joy to take root. My goodness is not withheld behind locked doors. It is already meeting you, waiting to be discovered in the simplicity of ordinary days. Trust that nothing offered in gratitude slips through my fingers. If discouragement shouts louder than hope,